So now we're going to go on to B, and it's how much total money will the bonds be worth at the end of 7.5 years. Now we found out how much interest Lenny will earn in 7.5 years, but we need to add that to the amount of money that he started with, that he put into the savings bonds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3,600 and what we just found out for our simple interest, 1,269. I add that together. I get 4,869. So my final answer should say the bonds would be worth $4,869 at the end of 7.5 years. So I restated the question, answered it, and made sure I showed my work. Okay, number 10. You work for a car dealership, earning a salary and commission for each car that you sell. The commission is 4.5% of your sales. So whatever I'm selling, whatever amount that I sell, I get 4.5% of that for myself. So if my yearly salary is $15,000, how much do I make each month? So I want to find out my monthly salary based on what they give me for yearly. So since there are 12 months in 1 year, we're going to divide $15,000 by 12. And when we do that, we end up getting 1,250. So my yearly salary, or my monthly salary, excuse me, would be $1,250. So I make, it's asking us, they're putting us in this situation. So it's asking your yearly salary would be what, or your monthly salary would be what based on your yearly. So you're going to use I. I make $1,250 a month. Not too shabby. Now our second question. You sold $52,000 in cars last month. What will your commission be? We want us to write the equation, show our work, and then write our answer with a label in a complete sentence. So we're going to first write our equation. Commission, we want to find our commission here. So C for commission equals commission rate times our sales. So our commission rate was told to us in the beginning at 4.5%. So our C would equal 0.045. We've got to change that to a decimal first, and then multiplied by our sales, which is 52,000. When we multiply 0.045 by 52,000, our C equals 2,340. So we would answer the question, what will your commission be? My commission will be $2,340. So since I sold $52,000 worth of cars, and I get a commission of 4.5%, I get to take home $2,340. Now we want to find out our total pay for the month. So we have to remember what our monthly salary was, which we found out in Part A, which was $1,250. And then we're going to add our commission, which we found out in Part B, which was $2,340. So when we add that together, we get $3,590. So we would write our answer in a complete sentence and write my total pay for the month is $3,590. Now last page, we only have 1 or 2 more questions left. Number 11 says you put $5,800 in a simple interest savings account. So this is our P for that, our principal. 2 years later, the total account balance is $8,865. So we want to find out the interest rate, find out our R of the savings account. We want to write our formula, show the work, and write our answer with a label. So our formula is I equals PRT, I PERT. Now our interest rate, we can find that. We put in 5,800, and after 2 years we got 8,865. So what we would do is we'd subtract 5,800 from 8,865 to find out how much money we got in simple interest. Okay, so when we subtract that, we get $3,065. So after 2 years, we got a simple interest of $3,065. So we can plug that into our formula. Equals our principal, which was 5,800. Now we don't know our rate, so we don't know that, we're going to keep that R, and our time is 2 years there. That already gives us 2 years later. So when we multiply, first we're going to multiply 5,800 by 2. We get 11,600. R equals 3,065. So then we're going to divide both sides by 11,600 to get R by itself to figure out what our rate is. And when we do our division, we end up getting R to be approximately 264. It's a really long decimal, so I'm going to round it. So to answer our question, the interest rate is about, and we have to make sure we put about in there because we did round, 26.4%. Okay, now looking at part B. What will be the total amount of money in the account after 13 years? Now we have to remember, since it's asking us for the total amount, we find out what our principal is, or our simple interest is, and add that together. So it's not just finding the simple interest, we add that to our principal. So we want to find out first the simple interest after 13 years. So we're going to use that same I equals PRT, I PERT. Our interest, we don't know what that is. Principal was 5,800. Rate was 0.264, found in part A. And our time is 13 years because that's already in years for us. So when we multiply those three together, we end up getting 19,905. 905 and 60 cents. So we're going to add that number, 19,905 and 60 cents, plus our principal, which was $5,800. So total, we get 25,705.6. So we would take this number, put it in a complete sentence. So our sentence would read, the account will have about, and again I put about in there because it was a rounded percentage, so it's not going to be this exact amount of money. We'll have about $25,705.60 in it after 13 years. So that will be our final answer there. Now if we did this question on a calculator, so from part A, and we found that rate, that R, we would have a really long decimal. And if we kept that decimal in our calculator and multiplied that in part B by 5,800 and then multiply that by 13, we would get a more exact answer. But in this case, since I rounded based on my rounding from part A, my part B is correct. So if we used a calculator here, it might be a little different. But if we use pencil paper, we'd get about $19,905.60 for our simple interest. Now the last part on this packet and on my video is the vocab. It wants us to write the definition of each vocabulary term. Now even though we are supposed to make those note cards, and I trust that a lot of you have made them, I want you all to write these out. Write these definitions out and study them. There is a part on our test that is vocab. It is it's matching, but I need you guys to make sure you are studying vocab. Vocab can be pretty difficult. There is perfect study tools like Quizlet that I've made, also your own study guides, your own index cards, maybe lists of definitions if you like to listen to or like to read lists, but once you write these out, it gives you more opportunity to study them. So I want to see this part filled out on everyone's packet. Well, hopefully these two videos have helped you guys out. If you still have some questions on how I got certain answers or you're still confused on something, make sure you ask me before our test. So hopefully you guys did really well. Keep studying, study hard, and bring any questions you have to class. Good luck!